Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 282, Lamar. Havoc.
Well, Joe, this is an action crime drama with, intrigue, dirty cops, and a whole lot of bullets. I
Yep.
mean, and shaky cam, and that's basically this movie.
Well, Lamar, the thing about it is, for me, before we start the review, is we are known as the Perfect Turd Podcast, a movie podcast, and I was just wondering why we were reviewing this movie. This is a corporate film made by Netflix, a big corporate conglomerate, and here we are reviewing it, Lamar. But I will review it accordingly.
I think it fits in, and that's going to be part of the discussion.
Oh, okay. We'll see about that.
Yes.
Well, our first category, as always, is what do we think of the story?
Well, Joe, I think it was a robbery goes down, and unfortunately, a cop gets killed. And so they bring in, a homicide detective played by Tom Hardy, Walker,
Mad Max,
Mad
Bane.
Max, as of recent. Yeah, Bane. I would say he's Bane.
What a lovely, lovely voice.
We'll talk about his voice and characters, but but he himself, he's kind of dirty and stuff like that, because the thing is about the robbery is that it involves a politician's son, played by Forrest Whitaker, and Forrest Whitaker is like, well, you got to help my son. And so Walker, Tom Hardy, is like, okay, this is it. I'm not doing any more favors. And then a lot of people just get shot up.
Forrest Whitaker, very famous for being in one of my favorite movies, Lamar, Bloodsport.
Well, there was a lot of blood spurting all over, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as the story goes, Lamar, it was okay. Nothing really deep, just like a lot of stuff happening. My biggest problem is that it's a corporate movie, Lamar. This is not a B-movie story with outrageous things happening. This is shilling to a major corporation like Netflix type of stories.
Yeah, I don't know. When we get to the action, I think this fits into exploitation. But yeah, it's made by Netflix. But I feel like Netflix is doing this thing where they have like a lot of like action thrillers that are just exploitive, and they're very surface level. Like the B movies that we watch sometimes have more depth than this.
Yeah. But what do you give it for story?
I give it a half a point. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to suck at the teat of the corporate conglomerates, Lamar. I'm giving it a 0 for story.
You're going to be that person. Okay. Jesus.
Well, our next category, Lamar, is characters.
Okay. Tom Hardy is a great actor. Mm-hmm. I don't like his English accent. It annoys me.
I thought he was was he trying to put on like a New York accent or something in this movie?
I feel like it's the same. It's like he goes from like, strong British voice, and then it's like, hey, buddy, how you doing there?
Yeah. It's like a weird inflection. Yeah.
It's weird. So his character, he's not the greatest father, corrupt cop, all that kind of stuff. And I guess you have something with the robbers because the characters are kind of like in love, but everybody is just kind of like meh.
Yeah. You have the other corrupt cops, and you have the rookie cop that's with him. Forrest Whitaker's, corrupt politician type.
Yeah.
Remember that part in Bloodsport, Lamar, where Forrest Whitaker's character, he's trying to eat the Hong Kongian food, but he can't figure out how to use chopsticks, and then he ends up throwing it to a dog?
Yes, and that had more characterization than this movie. Like, it wasn't, it was something different. It wasn't stock.
That's the problem. At least like in the B movies that we usually review, Lamar, the characters are quite colorful. They're interesting. They do wild things. Not this movie. So I'm giving it a 0 for characters, Lamar. This is too corporate characters.
I'm giving it a half a point.
Well, Lamar, our next category is what do we think of the action?
This movie takes a page out of like the movie The Raid.
Yeah.
That's where it is. It's like very intense action. And I like it's stylized intense action and everything like that. I don't know. Do these people ever reload? Like, do they ever?
It's like a damn video game.
Yes, it's like a video game. You can have stylized action, but the problem is like, I feel like this was a little too much where it overshadows the story. So the story beats is just like, well, how do we get to the next action scene? So now you start off hyped and everything like that. And then by the end of it, like, oh, everyone's shooting everybody. again.
Yeah. But also the budget for this movie was $80 million. So, you know, and it's all towards the action. Well, what do you give it for action, Lamar?
I'll be nice. I did like it. I'll give it a 1, but
A
still, it was
one
just
for
like,
action.
yeah.
Well, the action was kind of stylized and too corporate for me, Lamar. You spend $80 million on a movie, that's not a B movie. I'm giving it a 0 for action.
Oh my God. Such a contrarian.
Lamar, next category is sequel potential.
Yeah.
It just well, it ends.
Yeah.
Spoilers, like it ends like you assume like he's gonna get caught for being a dirty cop. So how? I mean, you could make it into a sequel, but like, what would that be? Just more shooting and stuff.
We need you to get out of jail and be a corrupt cop again to go undercover.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the problem with the idea of a sequel is like he's not a character that's all that interesting where you're like rooting for him or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's what I was thinking during this movie. Yes.
Because like the other Netflix film Extraction with Thor in there, he dies at the end. They make it seem, but you're like, oh man, that sucks. I like him. Maybe they'll bring him back, and they did, you know. But this character is like,
Exactly. Yeah, you don't care. Nothing.
yeah. Well, I give it a 0 for sequel, Lamar. I don't want to see a corporate sequel.
Oh boy. Yeah, I have to. I don't really want to see. I would say this: if you want to watch this movie, just watch the action scenes.
Well, our last category, Lamar, is a category we use often when we review the B movies. Is TNA.
There was none, Joe.
Do you know why?
Why, Joe?
Because it's not a B movie, Lamar.
Here's my thing. I feel like what was the movie that we what was it? Excalibur that we
Yeah.
reviewed. That movie wasn't a B movie, but it has B movie elements where it's very exploitive of things. So when I watch this movie and the action and how like flat it is, it's almost like it like balances out to like a B movie to me. That's what Netflix seems to do. Like
Yeah.
it makes these very flat like action thrillers,
Yeah.
except for Extraction. That was good. Everything else is just kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Typical white guy has problems, shoot everybody stylized.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. It's a corporate movie, Lamar. There's not going to be a lot of TNA, unlike the B movies that we usually review.
True.
What do you rate it for TNA, Lamar?
Well, there was none, so it's gonna be 0.
Yep, I agree. 0 points for TNA, Lamar.
Yeah.
Well, Lamar, we've tallied the score, and this movie gets a corporate 1 out of 5.
Are you fighting against the machine, Joe?
That's right, Lamar. I'm trying to hold up the integrity of our podcast. We're a B movie review podcast, Lamar.
Then why do we watch Justice League?
We're not corporate shilling over here.
We watched Justice League.
We didn't review it. We watched it just to make fun of it.
What about Mortal Kombat?
Same thing. We knew that was going to be bad.
Yeah, we kind of did. I felt like this, it had potential to maybe be something, but the action just, cool action, but it was overpowering to the story. So then you're just like, eh.
The action alone is not enough. You need all the other elements of a B movie to make it fun.
Well,
The
yeah.
wild story, the goofy characters, TNA, all this stuff, gore. Does that wrap it up then, Lamar?
It does.
Peace.
Deuces. Doodaloo doo doodaloo doo.